we have already started with chapter number 8 and we have discussed many aspects of the cell. Today we have to learn about the cell wall. Okay students, so concentrate. Today we are going to learn regarding the cell wall. Okay, you know that cell wall is a type of an envelope that can be found in plant cell, that can be found in bacterial cell, but that is absent in case of animal cell. Okay, so the cell wall that is found in a plant cell and the bacterial cell, but it is absent in an animal cell. This cell wall is rigid. It is not a flexible like a cell membrane. It's a rigid and it is non-living structure. It is non-living structure. So if you see the characteristic of a cell wall, the cell wall is a rigid and a non-living structure. Now what are the functions of this cell wall? What are the functions? Okay, so there are lots of functions of a cell wall. The first function of cell wall, that it provides shape. Okay, it provides shape to the cell. This is the first function. Okay, the second function, it protect the cell against mechanical damage and infection. This is the second function. Okay, so it protect the cell and against the mechanical damage and infections. Okay, so this is the second function of a cell wall. Okay, third, it is acting as a barrier. It is acting as a barrier for macromolecules. Means the large molecule, they cannot easily pass through it. It acts as a barrier and it acts as a medium of interaction between cells. So it is an effective medium for communication between the cell. So these are the functions of a cell wall. I again repeat, what is a cell wall? Cell wall is found into a plant and the bacterial cell, that is absent in an animal cell. It is a rigid structure. It is non-living structure, and these are the functions. So what are the functions? It provides a shape to the cell. It protects the cell against mechanical damage and infections. It acts as a barrier for macromolecule, means large compounds. And the fourth, it is acting as a medium of interaction between the cell. So they help in the communication between the cell. So these are the functions of a cell wall. Now, if you see the cell wall that is present in the different types of a living organism, the composition of cell wall is not the same. The composition of cell wall may vary from a living organism to a living organism. Let's see with an example. If you see the cell wall of a algae, okay, if you see or if you talk about the cell wall of a algae, the cell wall of a algae, it's made up of cellulose, galactans, mannans, and the minerals like calcium carbonate. Okay, so the cell wall of algae is made up of cellulose, galactans, mannans, and calcium carbonate. Okay, when you talk about the plants, in plants also there is a presence of a cell wall. So when you talk about the plants, in the plants the cell wall is made up of cellulose, hemicellulose, pectin, and protein. This is the composition of cell wall that you can find into plants, particularly those plants who are mature. In the plant, its cell wall is made up of cellulose, cellulose, hemicellulose, pectin and the protein. Okay. Now when you are talking about the cell wall of fungi also possess the cell wall. So the fungal cell wall, it's made up of chitin. Okay, it's made up of chitin. Okay. Next, when you talk about the plants, in a plants, the primary cell wall in case of a plants, primary cell wall in plants, it is made up of just a cellulose. Okay, so the primary cell wall in plants is just made up of a cellulose. Later on, there is a development of a secondary wall inside it. Okay, and that secondary wall contains a deposition of hemicellulose, pectin and the protein. Okay, so it wants to say that the composition of cell wall may vary from living organism to a living organism. Remember, you to remember the composition of cell wall of different types of cells. See, I repeat, the algal cell wall means the cell wall in algae is made up of cellulose, galactans, mannans and calcium carbonate. In the primary cell wall, okay, it's a mistake, it's a primary cell wall, okay, WALL, primary cell wall in plant, it's just made up of cellulose. Then there is a development of a secondary cell wall to an inner side. That is due to a deposition of hemicellulose, pectin and the protein. Hence, in the plant, the cell wall is made up of these four components. Next, the fungal cell wall is made up of a chitin. Okay. Apart from that, there is a one more layer. The layer is called as middle lamella. Remember, this is very important. Middle lamella. Okay. The middle lamella can act as a glue or it joins to cell. This middle lamella, it's made up of calcium pectate. It's made up of calcium pectate. Okay, this is the composition of middle lamella. What is the function of this middle lamella? The middle lamella can act as a glue which connect or joins to neighboring cells. Okay, so this is a middle lamella and that is made up of a calcium pectate. Okay, so these are the composition of cell wall. Okay, now apart from that, what it has, I just write over here what the plant cell contains. The plant cell contains a plasmodesmata. What it contains? Plasmodesmata. Okay, what is a plasmodesmata? It's a connecting link between the cytoplasm of two neighboring cells. It connects the cytoplasm of two neighboring cells. Okay, so this is a cytoplasm of two neighboring cells. They are connected by, so it connects cytoplasm of two neighboring cells, and this is called as plasmodesmata. Okay, so that's all about a short note on cell wall. Okay, that's about the short note on cell wall. Okay, so what are the characteristics? These are the functions, and this is a composition of cell wall you find into a different living organism. Okay, so we have discussed the two layers. One, in the previous session we have discussed cell membrane, and today we have discussed the another envelope that is called as cell wall. The composition of bacterial cell wall is somewhat different than the plant cell wall and the fungal cell wall. Okay, so but that you don't have to learn in this syllabus. Okay, now we are moving ahead. Now we learn the another concept called as endomembrane system organelles. Okay, so we have to learn the endomembrane system organelles. Okay, so let's start with endomembrane system. organelles. Okay, to understand which is endomembrane system organelle, we should know that which are membrane bound organelles. So I just write down the membrane bound organelle first. The meaning of membrane bound organelles. What is the meaning of membrane bound organelles? Those organelles which are covered by membrane, they are called as membrane bound organelles. You should know the difference between them. Okay, there is a difference between endomembrane system organelle and membrane bound organelle. But to understand this endomembrane system, first you should know which are membrane bound organelle. So I just list out, we have already learned it, I just list out which are the membrane bound organelles. In the membrane bound organelle, the first is endoplasmic reticulum, second one is Golgi apparatus, third is lysosome, fourth is vacuole, next is mitochondria, next is microbodies, next you can say chloroplast, peroxisome. These are the membrane bound organelles, means these organelles are covered by a membrane. But now the question comes, which are endomembrane system organelles? So those organelles which are membrane bound, these are organelles which are membrane bound but whose functions are coordinated. They function in coordination with each other. They are called as endomembrane system organelles. They are called as endomembrane system organelles. Clear? Which are called as an endomembrane system organelles? Endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, lysosome and the vacuole. These four whose functions are coordinated with each other. Whose functions are coordinated with each other. They are considered as endomembrane system organelles. So what are endomembrane system organelles? Endomembrane system organelles are the membrane bound organelles whose functions are coordinated. Okay, so they show coordinated functions. Coordinated functions. They shows the coordinated functions. But these are like mitochondria, microbodies, or I just write down the other. That's a chloroplast, peroxisome. They are also membrane bound organelles. But these are the organelles whose functions are not coordinated. Those whose functions are non-coordinated. So they are not a part of endomembrane system organelles. Okay, they are membrane bound, but their functions are not coordinated. So that's why they are not a part of endomembrane system organelle. Clear? So that is the difference between endomembrane system organelles. So again repeat, what is a endomembrane system organelles? Endomembrane system organelles are the organelles whose functions are coordinated with each other, like endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, lysosome, vacuole. They are membrane bound organelles and their functions are coordinated. But mitochondria, chloroplast, microbodies and peroxisome, they are membrane bound organelle but their functions are not coordinated, so they are not a part of endomembrane system. Okay, so students, today we have learned two things. One is cell wall and the second one is endomembrane system organelles. Okay, in the next session we will learn regarding the individual organelles we find into an eukaryotic system, and we start in this sequence only: endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, lysosome, vacuole, because their functions are coordinated. So we will learn the coordination between them or the coordinated functions between them. Okay, So in the next session we learn regarding the structure and functions of different organelles you find into a living organism. Okay. Till then students, keep learning, keep watching, like and subscribe this channel. Thank you for watching.